Wanting to become a YouTuber for fun or for profit? Check out the amazing Blue Yeti microphone today. Affiliate link in the video description. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater, and it turns out that Disney is having a little bit of a snag right now. But they're hitting a snag while trying to cast the live-action remake of Aladdin. Now, if you know me at all, you know that I'm generally not too enthusiastic about these live action remakes. They're enjoyable, but ultimately I've seen these movies before. You know, Beauty and the Beast offered almost nothing different than the original 1991 animated film. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I've seen this. It was good. I enjoyed it. But at the same time, I could have just gone home and watched my Blu-ray of the original animated film and gotten the exact same experience. But then again, Beauty and the Beast pulled in $1 billion worldwide. Who knows how much in marketing or merchandising, I mean. But enough for Disney to keep going like, what else can we do? And they've got Aladdin. Now, so like I said, they're hitting a snag here. So it says here that Disney's Magic Carpet Ride has hit a bit of turbulence. The studio and Aladdin director Guy Ritchie launched a global casting call in March to find the stars for the musical based on the hit 1992 animated film about a street kid who teams up with a genie to woo a princess. Disney, Ritchie, and casting director Randy Hiller brought on casting directors from around the world, from London to Egypt to Abu Dhabi and India, for what sources say is a massive global search. Around 2,000 actors and actresses have read for both the roles of Jasmine and Aladdin. And those are tough roles to film, or to fill, because what Disney has to do here is Disney has to find a star that's not only going to be able to do it, but is going to have some marketability. A relative unknown is fine. A complete unknown is not. A complete unknown would not sell this movie at all. Again, harkening back to Beauty and the Beast, Emma Watson played Belle. People know who she is. She is a household name. You could go back a couple years ago to Cinderella, Lily James taking over that role. Now, Lily James I knew because I am a huge Downton Abbey fan, and she was Lady Rose on Downton Abbey, and I was all excited to see her in the movie. Also, Daisy from Downton was one of the evil stepsisters, and Lucrezia from the Borgias was the other evil stepsister. So there's good talent in that movie. And look, as much as I bitch and moan about live action remakes, I adored Cinderella. I adored every bit of that movie. So go figure. I also have a natural crush on Haley Atwell, so anything with her in it too gets me going. But the point is that was a relatively easy one to cast. Okay, no one's going to sit there and scream cultural appropriation when it comes to casting Cinderella. You know, you put in a bunch of white people, everyone's cool with that shit, but you get to Aladdin, and this is the problem. So, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, is they want to cast a man and from that part of the world, and I completely agree with them on that one. They don't want to like Fisher Stevens that shit from fucking, you know, Short Circuit 2. Although it's entirely possible that's where it's going to go. It says here, but finding a male lead in his 20s who can act and sing has proven difficult, especially since the studio wants someone of Middle Eastern or Indian descent. The animated film is set in the fictional Middle Eastern city of Agrabah. The original casting call specified that production was slated to begin in July, but the search has dragged on, with Disney and Ritchie having to go back to the drawing board multiple times. Sources say there have been several rounds of tests in London, with the actors coming in for up to 2 weeks at a time. The test process was a mess, says one agent with a client who tested. And again, this is where they're running into problems. Like, they've talked to Dev Patel and Riz Ahmed, both of whom are great actors, but Dev Patel couldn't be Aladdin. He's too old to be Aladdin, for one, and he's too recognizable to be Aladdin. Now, you could argue that Emma Watson was too recognizable to be Belle, and I would completely agree with you. She wasn't even a good part, really, of that movie. I kept seeing Hermione attempting to, you know, use, like, what was it, the Polyjuice Potion, find a cure for Polyjuice Potion on the Beast, is the way I looked at that. But ultimately, like, she, you know, Lily James as Cinderella was unknown enough to where it would work. But getting someone like even Riz Ahmed, who is well known, again, is too old to come in and play an early 20s street rat in Agrabah. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, he was a teenager. He was a late teen, early 20 in that movie. So it's going to be very difficult to find the right person. Now, it does say that the male lead will likely be a newcomer. Sources say that they're eyeing Power Rangers actress Naomi Scott or Indian actress Tara Sutaria to play Jasmine, but can't lock the deal until the male lead has been selected since chemistry is so important to the story. Now, Naomi Scott was in Power Rangers as as a Pink Ranger, and and as Kimberly, and she had really good chemistry with Jason, and so you've got but they can't bring in Jason from Power Rangers because clearly he's white. But someone like that, so she can get chemistry with the right actor, but finding the right guy is going to be tough. And they're going to probably have to dig into television. Is there a television show that has an actor that's around that age, that's of that descent, that could possibly play that particular role? And this is probably where Disney is going to run into problems, because you can tell right now, they are desperately trying to find the right person in order to avoid the attacks on the film for cultural appropriation or misappropriation of that culture or racism or any of the other things that the clickbait bullshit movie bloggers are going to put, because it's there. It's there. And this entire lengthy process screams to me that situation is playing out. And the reason why I think that is because I talked to a lot of people who went to E3 this year as press, and they were noticing that a lot of the companies were trying to back away from working with websites that go after game development for the same things: racism, sexism, so on and so forth, cultural appropriation, all those arguments, because they don't want to deal with that kind of negative association anymore, and they don't want to give them the time of day. And I'm not saying Disney's doing that here. I'm merely speculating my point. But when I look at something like this, I think to myself, this is what they're trying to do. Disney is very much trying to avoid those claims. And so they want to find the right person. And that's going to be, well, it is proving to be quite difficult. If they've gone around the world and everything, and they're not finding the right person, they're probably going to take a shortcut, because they have, they're going to have a release date in mind for this movie already. They're going to have a production start date in mind for this already. And they need to make sure that the person can act and they can sing and there's chemistry with Jasmine. And I just my recommendation right off the bat would be, well, go to Broadway, see what you can find in Broadway. If you want a newcomer, if you bring someone over from Broadway, that could be something. You may want to look at some of the cast of Glee that's not currently on a CW TV series. And you may, or even maybe you want to, or even maybe you want to go get Grant Gustin from TV's The Flash, put some bronzer on him, and say that he's from Agrabah. But you could also, and this is just that was a joke, but this is even an odd thing. What Disney could do, if Disney really wanted to play this up, they could sit there and they could make everyone such a multicultural city, that Agrabah is the most diverse city in the Middle East at that point in time. Everyone's there from all over the world, and so it ultimately doesn't matter because it's a melting pot. But I guarantee you the villain is going to be a British dude, a British white guy. Is probably going to be Jafar. Because that clearly is also what always happens in these cases. And I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna throw this out there. It's gonna probably be Jude Law. Speculation, but I just have a feeling that's what's going to happen. So we'll have to wait and see what goes on with this. In the meantime, I wish Disney luck. Again, while I'm not too keen on these films, I'll still go see them because I'm a sucker for this kind of shit. And I do want them to find the right person to play the role. I also want them to look at this as one of the reasons why maybe they should be focusing on original content and not turning their animated films into live action movies. I don't care about a live action Lion King. I didn't care about a live action Jungle Book. Yes, I enjoyed Cinderella and I thought Beauty and the Beast was okay because I'd already seen it. And that's the part too. We're seeing a lot of these type of movies, these reboots, these rehashes, these remakes coming out that people aren't flocking to. And this could be one of the reasons, or one of the key things that's going to keep Disney from going down that path. Once they get through this round of films, they'll be able to maybe go, we've had our fill, let's move on to something original. And if you're going to redo anything, Disney, make it fucking Heavyweights. Give me a sequel. For the love of God, give me a fucking sequel to that. But what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments below. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the video. If you guys liked it, be sure to toss it a thumbs up, slap on that subscribe because I post new content pretty much every single day. Also, live streams 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Sunday through Wednesday, and probably some extra days in between. If you guys want to support the channel, check out the Amazon affiliate link that was posted in the beginning, Patreon, PayPal, anything really helps out right now. But regardless, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for being here. I'll see you later. Have yourself a great day. Peace out.